hardest working player in training camp to date.
They come up with a turnover forced by Bryant's ball pressure. Kidd inside with a...
That ball was blocked, Mark, by Dwight Howard, who's now back in, and Carmelo Anthony just... Kobe's not usually throwing that pass. Although he did throw one to Shaq when they beat Sacramento that year. Shockingly, none of those players has forced their way through the lane.
6'5" 26-year-old averaged 6 points a game in the recent Pan Am games for the Virgin Islands. Underneath, New York type of feel to the Virgin Islands team. Several of their players
already qualified.
Howard comes up with the steal. Jason Kidd looking for the push. Carmelo Anthony.
That's quite an appreciation. 10 times in 20 years for the Phoenix Suns. What a franchise.
It's a return on investment for sure. 3-on-2. Carmelo fouled.
And then just goes out and tries to play against an ideal standard of perfection.
The United States earns one of the two spots here that they might have to throw it down on the block and get something out of a Dwight Howard or an Amari Stoudemire.
But it's emblematic of the decline of it off to him for the massive throwdown.
Carmelo Anthony works his way to the basket.
Teams of Brazil and Argentina would be the favorites. Carmelo out in front.
The reverse won't go, but there to tip it back in is Jesse Young.
Young has showed a tremendous competitive spirit trying to go up.
But it was tough defense. And again, LeBron James. You're telling me stuff I don't even know about my homeland. I knew we were the second largest country.
You're one of my 4 favorites to deal with injury.
Right.
In this tournament, in an international competition, you only have the 12-man roster.
See the field goal percentage for Team Canada, and that's about what it's been like for all the opponents for the USA. Jason Kidd, again, he's still only taking 1 shot. Moves the ball around. Carmelo of age, so there's a lot of upside there. But if you're looking to win now, Jason Kidd would make a huge difference.
But one argument against that is that Kobe is not the type of...
And again, at least Canada's trying to crash the boards now, throwing it up and maybe hoping to go up after rebounds and come up with something. Carmelo wide open again. Barbosa put the first points on the board for Brazil, but again ahead of the glitter with it. Little backdoor cut. Laid up and in by Garcia.
Brazil has a number of very good players.
Silva, but he gets rejected. Jason Kidd wants to run the other way, finds Carmelo Anthony, misses the shot, gets his own back.
So many of these guys play against the United States players in the NBA on a regular basis, gives them a real football. And so his first night there, he slept in the team's locker room, which is an absolutely just palatial estate there.
I would suspect, Bill, that Coach Krzyzewski, in his talk at halftime, he knows his team is going to win this game. Carmelo Anthony.
2000 Sydney Olympics, where he was part of that spectacular team coached by Rudy Tomjanovich, who's the scout now for... See if he's going to even be out there tonight at all. Nice transition opportunity, unable to convert. The Mexican players look a little intimidated right now by the remarkable athleticism of this USA squad. What a pass. Position, something that was very difficult for the United States last night against Brazil, which was able to make the United States play a half-court. The only hope that Pau Gasol will be able to start the season on time for Memphis. Miller up against it here.
Mile.
And Dwight Howard can... Oh, what a back.
Finished closely, perhaps. Beck drives down the lane, but there's nothing there for him.
The way this team is able to find Jason Kidd and Carmelo in the basket area again. The Jazz franchise wasn't that solid up in Salt Lake City, so they would come down to Las Vegas and play 10 or 12 games, thus cutting down the demand for tickets. And Dwight Howard.
And Solaris was the one who put that shot up, and now Carmelo simply went to go play college ball. They split up.
Baseball, the job that Joe Garagiola has done for decades.
Points have been huge. Zones will give you a lot of that as well.
This is an untenable
deep, and Howard grabs the rebound and finds Jason Kidd. And out in front to Carmelo Anthony.
The most perfect of all games comes from plays like that.
Pass to Ayuso underneath, picked off by Kobe Bryant.
Great defense by Kobe, seeing the ball the whole time, and then finding Dwight Howard, who has trouble sticking a fork in it. Advantages that the United States has, John, is that with so much versatility on this team that literally 7 or 8 of the players held by Oscar Schmidt of Brazil and the player from Cuba as well. Carmelo in the tournament, Jason Kidd, then LeBron's perfection last night.
So we talked about finally get it going. He was 0 for 4 before that. Mike Miller's on the floor now for USA. Carmelo drives. Oh! Tijoni, no good. Howard ahead to Jason Kidd. Lob up.
Tony's a nice little player.
Unfortunately, Nice is not getting it done here.
Well, he's playing against Jason Kidd. And how many of these Argentines would actually even be asked to try? Not quite that high.
Even Kobe would need a catapult to get up to that one. Carmelo.
Caribbean, 100 miles long by 35 miles wide, just 4 million residents. Does, though, have the distinction of having hammered the United States in the Athens Olympics.
Double when he's got that ball at the foul line as Ramos missing, and Kidd just tips it to Carmelo Anthony and now has it.
Ramos does not have the mobility or maneuverability to a year ago.
There's a turnover.
In the semifinal of the World Championship.
U.S. with numbers.
Where Rudy Tomjanovich was the coach, and there was like a special Olympic team down there in 2000. Is that the team, as the tournaments have gone on, they've played progressively worse.
Tournament. You know, this used to be the part-time home of the Utah Jazz back in the early 80s. The Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar actually set the all-time scoring record. Dish off for LeBron. Carmelo. He can keep hitting it offensively. A gunner. Now Anthony doing everything he can to keep Puerto Rico in the game. That's his 4-3. And
play in this game knowing that they've already got a spot. Scola had that one blocked.
Dwight Howard right in front of Scola, who tried to back his way down on Carmelo Anthony. Anthony spots up for 3. Ball. LeBron James at a fresh shot clock. Carmelo.
In yesterday's ball game, Jason Kidd started early looking for shots and
Off the bench, so he's going to get a start in the second half now, trying to track Kobe Bryant over to the far side. LeBron James off the rub. Carmelo Anthony. Delfino hopping into position and gets the follow away. He was 1 for 4 in the first half. Very quiet. Anthony